Welcome in to Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Happy to have you with us on today's show. We are looking at Mel Kiper Jr.'s Seahawks draft grade. We will reveal that for you and also give my takes in reaction to what Mel had to say. But before we do that, I want to make sure that you are following me on Twitter at Tyler Jones Live, where I'm talking Seahawks all the time. And my guy Mitchell Renz from the Raiders Report has put a challenge out there. He wants me to yodel if I get to 6,700 followers. I guess not if, but when. So if you do that, if you follow me, if you're one of those first 10 people, I'm going to follow you back. And if we get to that 6,700 mark, then who knows? I might be yodeling here pretty soon. We'll see. Let's go ahead and look at the Seahawks draft selections before we get to Mel's grade. It all started with Charles Cross with the number 9 overall pick. The Seahawks had 2 picks in the second round with Boye Mafe, the edge rusher from Minnesota, and Kenneth Walker III, the running back from Michigan State. They wrapped up day number 2 with Abraham Lucas, the offensive tackle from Washington State. And then on the third day of the draft, the Seahawks had 5 picks, starting with Coby Bryant. Yes, Coby Bryant. They were able to pick up in the 4th round, the cornerback from Cincinnati. Not that Coby Bryant. They also grabbed another cornerback, doubling up at that position in the 5th round with Tariq Woolen from UTSA. Tyreek Smith in the 5th round, the edge rusher from Ohio State. Bo Melton, a wide receiver from Rutgers in the 7th round, as well as Derek Young, a wide receiver, with their final pick of the draft. So ultimately, when it was all said and done, Mel Kiper gave the Seahawks a B+. And here's what Mel said. Several good prospects in this class, but it's not quite an A because of the quarterback issue that could linger into 2023. So here's more from what Mel had to say on that front. I always struggle with what the Seahawks are thinking. They stick to their board and don't worry about a league-wide consensus. That's why it was good to see Coach Pete Carroll and General Manager John Schneider also saw their hole at left tackle and went that way at number 9. So, with that said, I agree with Mel Kiper on the Seahawks grade here. I think that Mel got it right. Mel, his top needs for the Seahawks were quarterback, offensive tackle, and edge. The Seahawks took care of about every need in this draft except the quarterback position. They did not find something long-term for that quarterback spot. And although I thought that the offensive tackle and the edge were a bigger issue for the Seahawks right now than the quarterback position was, it still wasn't addressed with this class. So, with that said, I like the players the Seahawks picked, but with the most important position, according to some, not taken care of with no long-term solution, and knowing that this is going to linger on for a bit, that's why Mel gives it a B+. What do you guys think? Here's your chance to weigh in. Did Mel Kiper Jr. get it right, giving the Seahawks a B+? Tell us in the comments section. Type Y for yes, type N for no if you agree or disagree with Mel Kiper's B+ grade for the Seahawks. So, Charles Cross, here is what Kiper had to say. Cross is the best pass-protecting tackle in this class, an easy mover with great fit and long arms. He'll replace Dwayne Brown immediately. Say what you want about moving on from Wilson, but at least the Seahawks got a lot of capital in the deal, and they now have a left tackle who can be there for 10 years. And it's a very good point for Mel Kiper when it comes to Charles Cross. This is a guy that only allowed 2 sacks, great pass protector, and he's going to be a Seahawk for a very long time. I have high hopes about Charles Cross, and you should too, quite frankly. They found their guy that's going to be leading this offensive line for many years to come. And speaking of Charles Cross, we have some awesome jerseys that are on sale right now from our friends at Fanatics. You got to replace that Russell Wilson jersey sometime soon, right? Well, we got a couple options. How about the Charles Cross jersey? Or you can go with Kenneth Walker III as well. Those jerseys are available now on chatsports.com/Seahawk Rookies. That's chatsports.com/Seahawks Rookies to get your hands on these jerseys. They look terrific, and you got to replace that Russell Wilson jersey soon. So why not go ahead and get one for one of these guys? It's going to be playing for the Seahawks, going to be just kicking it for a while here with this team. Chatsports.com/Seahawks Rookies. So one of the things the Seahawks did in not selecting a quarterback was passing on Malik Willis in particular. And this is where kind of the criticism from Mel Kiper comes in. On day 2, I thought there was a prime opportunity for the Seahawks to take a quarterback like Malik Willis and develop him into a future star. They ended up passing on him 3 times, which I suppose means they're okay with Drew Lock and Geno Smith being just average in 2022. Carroll and Schneider must think the roster is farther along than I do. And, Mel, I think he's got a good point on that. I would have been fine with Malik Willis as a day 2 pick. You heard me say many times on this show, I did not want the Seahawks to be using a number 9 overall selection on any of these quarterbacks who I did not have a first-round grade on in this draft. And they were smart. They made the right call with Charles Cross at 9. But once you got into day 2 and you had a needed quarterback, Malik Willis would not have been a bad option. Instead, he ends up in Tennessee, and Ryan Tannehill's going to be that guy in Tennessee for the foreseeable future for now. But Malik Willis has a chance to compete down the road for that job in Tennessee. They are going to develop him. That could have been a similar situation if he were in Seattle. You could have played Drew Lock or Geno Smith this year, and then whenever you felt Malik Willis was ready, giving him a shot instead, they pass on him. I would have been okay with Willis day 2, but ultimately the Seahawks went otherwise. How do you guys feel? Are you confident that the Seahawks got it right on passing on Malik Willis? Scale it, 1 to 100. Give me a number if you are confident the Seahawks got it right. I know that there's been a lot of people in the comments sections over the last couple of days saying that they wanted the Seahawks to take Malik Willis, but I sure hope that the Seahawks don't look back and say to themselves, we passed on that guy 3 times and now he's a superstar. That's what your nightmare would be, the nightmare scenario. Nothing but best of luck to Malik Willis. It's not personal, but I would hope that this isn't a situation that the Seahawks regret down the road, but we'll see. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Kenneth Walker III was the Seahawks' second-round selection along with Boye Mafe, and here is what Mel Kiper had to say about the day 2 picks there. As for whom they got on day 2, I like the players, even if it's not what I would do, because Mel would have taken Malik Willis. Kenneth Walker III is a bowling ball of a running back, and he's going to play in an offense that values those kind of players. Boye Mafe has some raw pass rush traits off the edge. Abraham Lucas might be a rookie starter at right tackle, which is rare for a 3rd-round pick. And we were telling you about the jerseys earlier. Kenneth Walker is the jersey buy of this draft. I don't care to wear a jersey and offensive lineman, like Charles Cross. But if that's your thing, please, by all means, go to our website, chatsports.com/Seahawks rookies, and get your hands on one. But Kenneth Walker III would be the jersey I'd be wearing from this Seahawks team because he is going to be special for a very long time. Although this one was a bit of a surprise, I think, to most folks because we weren't talking about the running back position being a priority, but it was one of those deals where the Seahawks saw him there and couldn't pass him up. I think Kenneth Walker is going to be a lot of fun in Seattle. I think you're going to enjoy what he brings to the table. Coming off a 1,600-yard, 18-touchdown season there at Michigan State, he was terrific, and he's not going to disappoint with the Seahawks. I can tell you that right now. Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports, is bringing you content each and every day here on the channel, and yesterday, I asked you if I should do a Gatorade bath when we get to 30,000 subscribers. You guys responded, and our subscriber numbers are way up. We're getting closer every day to that 30,000 subscribers. And the consensus was that I should do Seahawk colors for the Gatorade when we get there. But we have to get there first. So let's get to 30,000 subscribers. We'll do the Gatorade bath. I'm a man of my word, but we got to get there. So subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/Seahawks TV. Tell a friend or 2 or 50. Get them subscribed. One more subscriber is a lot closer to the goal that we have here of 30,000 subscribers. So help us get there, youtube.com/Seahawks TV. All right, last one from Mel here. On day 3, the Seahawks doubled up with cornerbacks Coby Bryant and Tariq Woolen, who in particular fits with what Carroll likes in his defensive backs. Woolen is 6'4" with a huge wingspan, and he ran a 4.26 second 40-yard dash at the combine. Wide receiver Boye Mafe at 229 has some speed that makes him a potential 7th-round find. So when you look at this draft, and I think that Mel Kiper feels kind of like I do with this situation with the Seahawks, is that this team got a lot better overnight. Are there still some obvious holes? Yeah. But before this draft, I think we were all skeptical about the future of this franchise and where they were headed going forward, because the drafts have been hit and miss for Schneider and Carroll the last couple of years. But for the most part, this was a really good class that was put together, and the foundation for this next chapter of Seahawks football looks pretty dang good at this point. Still a ways to go, but I can feel optimistic about this team going forward. Yesterday, I told you that I would give my pick for how I think the Seahawks will fare in 2022. Right now, I think this looks like a 7-win football team. And I give credit to Pete Carroll. I think Pete Carroll's still one of the best coaches in the league that pushes them to that 7-win mark where they were at last year, and that was with Russell Wilson. But we'll see if they can put some moves together in the next few weeks leading up to training camp to potentially make this roster even better and fill some more holes. But I do feel optimistic about the direction of this franchise. We'll see what happens, but there's reason to breathe and feel good about where this franchise is going in 2022. We can exhale, folks. The draft is over. Let's keep going.